France, but beyond that, they've had a little bit of a dwindling when it comes to actually closing out games, but they have had close results. So keep your eyes on it and see what they can actually achieve in this one. On the T side, it will be VP. Fair touch of utility as well. Snacks and Neo are going to be running that. Looking forward to seeing how they play it out. Snacks is going to just nade out towards Squeak, smoke out as well. And while this happens, the rest of the team all heading towards Secret.
I always find that smoke really interesting because the length of that one really can give away what the team wants to do. But already in towards lowest here is Bialy and the rest of VP.
I don't think anyone spotted that initially. They have worked it out now because they're starting to rotate through from the CT side towards more lower, I guess, related positions. But VP taking control over by control room, smoking in towards the right side, down by ramp, and now going to play through towards the side. This is nice so far, but the problem is that Happy found an angle, and Happy's taken down too. That was through the vents, so that's cut them off kind of at the waist here. But the bomb has gone down, but now VP are surrounded. Going to have to fight with their backs to the wall. And actually, Bialy did some work, but it's just down to Taz now, and this might be pretty tough for him. Yeah,
it's going to be a struggle. There's a lot of damage on RPK and Scream, but Taz is in a compromising position, but he finds the highest health player. 6 of falls, it was a headshot. Now it's 2 lobies. RPK gets a lot of damage back. And that bomb's still yet to be defused. Scream wants to try and get this one, but Taz stops him at the gates. He's got nothing left. It has to be the knife or nothing. Needs to look for another pistol somewhere if it's possible. But the pressure's on RPK right now. Taz had the replacement weapon, and it wasn't enough.
Kind of overstepped there. Taz could have played out. He did spot RPK, but through the vents, it was kind of tough to see him. And then the balusters as well, but in the last second, it will be closed out. But yeah, no bullets left in the USPS.
Asana make Virtus Pro look like amateurs.
But we know how this map can go. When the CT side has full utility and full money and they're in a good shape, they win those first 3 rounds, it can go like this. But normally there's a little bit of a response, especially from a team like Virtus Pro. Yeah, it is a CT-sided map to a degree, but not as much as it used to be. There's differences out there, especially VP. They can exploit those, they make it work their way. But if they can get a couple on the board, if they get maybe 2-3 rounds, I wouldn't put it past them from, be able to fight tooth and nail for it, but it's still a very, very steep climb.
And this is not the T-side pedigree of Virtus Pro on this map, not at least in the way it's been lately. They had this really lovely blistering play. They played vent dives really nicely. They pressured people off of positions in upper sight. We're not seeing that here at all. In fact, they're not even approaching Squeaky Door at all.
Well, I guess putting it into another way, if you're going to play VP on a map like Nuke, you better be ready. It looks like NVR. You don't come into this just hoping that your style works. You've got to put in the time, the effort. And at the moment, Envious are reaping the rewards. 10-0 up, still got a good bit of utility to play out here. XMS going to hear the calls of the smokes going down towards outer, but it's the players lining up towards ramp. Let's see if he can hold control of this. He still has a smoke and a flash, but he's going to spot out one. Smoke to hand, smokes out the ramp. Doesn't back just yet, finds an angle, flashes up, falls away. Really nicely done so far. He's trying to be overrun by Snacks, but Snacks will win out. Just crouches underneath it, and the UMP beats it all. But this could be a problem now. VP do have good control towards the lower bomb side. There is still Scream, though, and that's going to slow things down.
Well, he needs to be the difference right now because Envy's put that extra player towards outer. It means they need more attention towards the bottom. It's a weak point for them, but Scream can only get one. Taz, to find him, it's a 3v3 and the bomb is down. Six is going to make his way into ramp room. Happy now pulls down from outer in towards those halls. But Neo will be waiting for him.
I love this bait, though. They open the doors like that because you normally sit behind them. You can kind of do a little crouch peek over the top of it.
Look where he's looking.
And Neo's just adjusted off the back. It doesn't even matter, though. That was a smart little play individually, but equates to nothing. Now a 2v2. Taz shooting wildly. That was not what you want to be seeing, but Bialy with beautiful control there. Going to connect with the Galil, but still needs one more. On the bomb is RPK, and RPK last time succeeded in this situation. Oh my god, he's just holding it down. But Bialy just swings out, takes the fight. And maybe RPK thought he'd be...
He really wanted that AWP. He really admired it. He made it very clear. So he actually bought one himself off the market. Kenny S said when he left the team, he said, look, mate, sell that AWP, take this one. He's got a lot of regard for the young AWPer. And yeah, and that's the story. So that is Kenny S's. And he sold his other one for mad cash. Cash dollars, Lauren.
All right, this looks like a nice hit towards upper. Where is Happy? There we go. Flashes coming through. Taz fine, blinded eventually, but he's going to see it all now. Reaction needs to come in. XMS and RPK, though, bully their way through. And Taz couldn't hit a barn door. It's horrible when it happens. You just want those one-taps to be there, and they're just not. Couldn't hit a thing, and now Pasha, yeah, GG.
Sometimes, Lauren, you feel like it's like a laser pointer. Sometimes it feels like a pea shooter with the USP, unfortunately. Nothing really Taz could do but look on in horror as the rest of his team got decimated by Envious, and now it's Pasha. He's got Decoy. That could be big. Just kidding. Very little to work with here, and probably wants to even save the armor that he bought up. So the next round will be tight. Virtus.pro also lost the first pistol, but they managed to get a plant in that round, which actually gave them a force in the second round. Gave them a couple of AKs, something that didn't work out. This time, VP play on the CT side. It's a much harder economy to develop. Hard to get extra little bits of cash. And they're going to have very little for the next round. Probably force, they had to force.
The one series, Fnatic versus FaZe, with Fnatic starting over on that CT side.
Yeah, now already we can see FaZe putting some players down through connector as well as sending Nico backed up over towards this B site, looking to try and exert some pressure towards short early on. Now as Olof does peek on out, he's going to be sent back. Doesn't want to be at the mercy of these Glocks. They might try and employ a boost. I mean, currently they have 3 players over towards this B site. You could also see the quick rotate coming in from flusha as he opts to play the A site passively. What they've done is they've allowed Dennis to put the push on up over towards toilets. He can spot for the peek out through connector. As Rain takes that, though, I imagine that's going to mean that flusha is no longer going to be in position to rotate. They won't know where that bomb's going just yet. Saying that, Crims is going to go down. Just trying to peek on over. Nico takes his head off, and that's the early man advantage taken. They're just going to rush towards B, and already this rotate should be underway. Heaven going to be smoked. It's Olof to find 1, finds 2. Looking to try and get a third. Reloads the USP, and haven't you killed him yet, Olu? Finally finds that frag. And it is going to be a 2-on-3. Keo and Olu, the 2 players to try and clutch this out. JW going to be able to win. It's going to be spotted out for the time being, but there's flusha finds 1 through the wall, and then Dennis to dispatch of Keo is farmed up on the back of that UMP as well.
Yeah, good money will allow them to go for that up ASAP. And I like that from Fnatic as well. They don't take the aim battles. They know the FaZe have the deagle, so peeking out, extra aggressively will allow FaZe to at least get those picks onto the site. And the fact that FaZe sat so, long over towards short and long and didn't really commit to a full push as they were looking for a pick. And Fnatic were just not allowing them to take anything into that round. So really bringing it back down to the last few seconds. And now FaZe, they are going to have to full eco. A nice nade as well put up through middle will do a good, sizable bit of damage onto some of these players. Going to make it far easier for them to be mopped up by the UMPs. And the Glock train, the conga line of death as we call it, is going to be sprayed away by Dennis. 3 for him. flusha mops up a bit of cash, $600 there. And Alu got to be the last player standing. flusha, I'm sure he's going to be chasing this one down. He's got bomb control. He knows he's in the near vicinity. I think you will just hear these footsteps, going to be ready for it. Spraying away, teammate comes in for support. Dennis rounds up with a 4K. So Fnatic 3-0, but FaZe are going to be on there. To be honest, it doesn't really matter for Fnatic at the end of the day because they got a couple of kills. They obviously had the bonus round in place, so they're still going to be able to buy up coming into this because they get the $1,400 loss bonus. And straight onto this one, they pull up the double AWP play. Dennis and JW are going to be pulling that one out. And Fnatic, again, a team that can just throw the AWP over to almost anyone here. So they're not going to have an issue with that. They can just play off spawns if need be. And it seems like flusha's going to be, or at least looking for something, does back towards the toilets, but Fnatic still on this fall by looking to reset FaZe. And with the boost up towards B short, the Molotov goes down to deny a fast entry here from the T side. And JW just chilling, just waiting. FaZe Clan, they've got a hell of a lot of control down towards connector, which is going to be quite worrying for JW because with no support down towards the connector from the CT side, they could just open that door and burst onto his head, and he's going to have to flick all the way back from his aim on short.
Yeah, now are they going to check this? Are they going to open up the door at all? He blows the door out, but the timing is going to be a little bit off as they have already crossed. Dennis falling on back to the site along with flusha as they both just give up mid for the time being. Don't want to be taking these peeks unnecessarily, especially with very little info now. JW just trying to peek on over for info, just waiting passively now. They've taken the boost away and instead he's going to be watching long. They pop flash out Crims, who is going to take the peek, and actually Nico is there now falling on back. The rest of his team pushing out towards A. Flush is going to be able to get 1, and okay, Chase to give it the second through the smoke. Okay, that's going to be 2 for him. No trade in sight just yet. Keo's close by, but the bomb has been dropped out in the open. 3 players all within earshot, but the only player who can really do anything immediately is Kiyoshima, and he finds himself alone in toilets, now rejoined by Nico and Alu coming in from long. They've got to be asking themselves, where did it all go wrong? The boost from Dennis is going to get 1 as he just peeks over the top of the SWAT van. Not going to get punished just yet. The bomb is picked up by Nico, but flusha peeks out wide. Nico does get 1 and oil off Dennis. Quick to return. 3 frags for flusha. The round 5-1. But a very, very good round from FaZe.
I like the attempt from Nico, I really do. That's a situation where you fake the bomb plant with 3 seconds remaining because there's such a good chance that we're going to see the push come in through the smoke, but unfortunately it does not happen. FaZe, they are going to lose out on just around by the skin of their teeth, but again, they do only have 2 deagles invested into the round and they get all 5 kills and even save an AWP from it as well, and so that will be padded over to Alu. Good at least here for the T side, but now they're on the bite. Fnatic still double AWP in play, and a fast peek up from Alu. Gonna get caught out. JW's playing up close. A quick kill on the side of Fnatic, and he's not even going to back off here. He's hunting for more. There's refrag attempted, and Nico succeeds. It's going to be the AWP removed. grabbed back for Nico as he starts to push his way back. Crims is alone over towards short now, but he does have a bit of support regrouped as Olof comes, but Nico just in through the smoke. It doesn't matter to this man. Smokes aren't anything. Takes down Crims. And I like the push up from Olof to at least try and grab some control back for the side of Fnatic, but it's very risky here.
Oh, Nico going to miss that shot. Olof going to pivot round and actually lands the 180. Down goes Rain. Olof now falling back into the B site to try and buy time for the rotate. It's already coming on through. And Olof spots out that player. Down goes Carrigan, and he looks to get all four. Olof with a very quick return. He was Pistols, but I mean, it's another round. We saw that first one very, very close from Fnatic up against the ecoing FaZe clan. This time, they actually win it out.
How is this happening? FaZe only getting success on their eco rounds. Three PT50s and 2 Deagles, and they win the round. And now Fnatic's money is screwed. The double AWP was reinvested as well, so now we just have pistols for them. One rifle on Flusher, that is going to be it. And while, again, you can't count out the pistols in the current meta, that's just crazy for FaZe clan to be able to do that twice in a row. 2 ecos and a lot of success in both. They've really screwed over the economy. Even though the one they lost a few rounds ago with the Glocks, because they got so many kills, that is limiting Fnatic's buy here. It's coming into effect 3 rounds later. So let's see if these pistols and Fnatic now can have any damage done. Keo's up towards short. The smoke is down, but he's still piling on some hurt with some bullets into the body of Dennis and JW. But FaZe clan not gifted anything just yet. Fnatic just going to re-smoke, plenty of utility to do this as well, so they can just hold on, but they will eventually back off towards more passive positions on the site. Still a lot of long control in the hands of Toilets, but FaZe clan haven't really been taking much control over towards the long side of the map, so it's not too much of an issue just yet.
Yeah, change of pace from both teams, like you said, 2 players for Fnatic now up towards the Toilets. That's going to be Dennis and Flusher trying to hold back the tide of FaZe, who this time look to make their way out towards mid. Something we haven't really seen them focus on too much. Dennis going to get spotted out as he takes the aggressive peek. That's a free one for Keo. No trade in sight as Flusher, the only player with a rifle, currently resides over on long. Nico watching for the push up through short down on B as the bomb rotates background. The smoke is going to be there, but he's spotting through the gap. JW looking to try and push on up. Pop flash Rain's in, and well, Rain does fire off a volley around it. Does give away his position. Nico going to get one, but the trade comes through swiftly from Krim as they find themselves. Olof and Krim's on the site. 2v4 in this take, and actually, Rain's going to go down. Ollie is as well, and they're making this very costly. They finally deal with Krims, who's 12 HP on the site. He will be falling. Now it's all on Flusher. 1v2, but he's in the back line, making his way up through short. The only problem is that they've got Keo up in heaven. Bomb's going to be planted for him, but Carrigan will go down, and this is where things get troublesome.
Flusher knows. But look at the drop from Keo right as the nade goes off. I don't think Flusher will have realised he's actually dropped, but spotting him through the smoke, just on the edge, going to spam away a bit of damage, but Keo asserts towards his position, closer and closer. He doesn't know though, Flusher's wrapped, and he's going to get the defuse as well. Harry, the pistols, again, they succeed. 4 P250s and a rifle on Flusher, and they managed to pick up the round. A great performance again from Fnatic, but this is just Eco City.
Time left as well. Fnatic just doing a great job of forcing their hand into some very unfavorable pushes. Ultimately net Fnatic that night.
FaZe really having a struggle here again, despite the economical damage they've done. They can't convert these rounds into success. It's just a P250 is pulled out now for the T's. Glocks across the rest of the team, and without those, you know, very, very consistent deagles that we need to see on this T side to get those opening kills that they have been doing on these eco rounds, it's going to be far, far more difficult. I don't expect an eco win here this time from FaZe. If they can maybe utilize that P250, grab a close kill, that could be good, but Fnatic now switching up their positions as we have Flusher aggressive on long and Dennis solo towards the site. The orb's going to be perfect at range though. They all charge on in. There's the first kill, looking for the lineup, and he gets it. Alu and Rain drop to the floor, and Dennis, he's gone for a 4, looking for the ace, but it's Nico to be found by Flusher. And while he doesn't manage to secure that 5 hat-trick, 3k after 3k, 12 and 9, I mean, Flusher and Dennis both stomping as well, 17 and 3 and 5 respectively. But right now, this is just falling apart for FaZe. Fnatic, the resurgence, they are reborn, it seems. And obviously, we are only in the first half of 4, but this is looking good so far. They can just close out this final one. They're going to have a great buffer to play with into the second half, even if they do lose that pistol round, and that is even looking unlikely as we get into this one. Final buy for FaZe as they fast play up towards short. It's JW up close, takes the first kill. Flusher as well. It's just aim battles now. Welcome to, you know, aimbots as Dennis, he'll drop another. Not a single trade has been found by FaZe so far. Only 2 remaining. And really no damage done onto the side of Fnatic as well, so nothing to exploit here for the T side.
Yep, Nico and Carrigan 2v5, and Carrigan's been making his way out through Monster. Does net that first frag on a Krims, who keeps losing control of Monster, but they're finding it hard to exploit because the rest of the B hold is so incredible, and now Nico pushing up through short, through the smoke, just rubbing arms with JW, who's currently sitting in the smoke, looking to try and push out to deny the plant. They don't see it coming. Down he goes, and JW, okay then, gets himself